This video is part 2 about MS Hybrid versus Discrete graphics mode on your gaming laptop. If you want to see the features and what all that gets you, such as not being able to run G-Sync, then make sure to check out this video up here. But if it's benchmarking games you're after, you've come to the right place. So today, we're going to just take a look at, because you can overclock your graphics card in discrete mode as opposed to MS Hybrid mode, we're going to see just how much more FPS that actually gets you with my gaming laptop in particular, the PowerSpec 1710. So for hardware, we've got a Intel Core i7 7700HQ and a GTX 1070, which is complete overkill for the 1080p panel that it has, until you put it in discrete mode and overclock it to 102 Hz. Then it actually starts to make a bit more sense. But jumping right in with the performance data, we're going to start off with synthetics, which lands us with Unigine Valley. Running at 1080p, ultra settings, 8x anti-aliasing, we can see that discrete pulls out just a little bit of a lead here. Not much, but noticeable and repeatable. The other two synthetics we have are folding at home bench in both single precision, much faster, and double precision, also much faster in discrete mode. Jumping over to games, first up is Rise of the Tomb Raider. This is 1080p, very high preset with SMAA on. I think I turned motion blur off, not 100% sure, can't read my own handwriting. But needless to say, now that the monitor is overclocked to 102 Hz, it is nice that we can actually see all of the frames that are being rendered, and we have G-Sync to help smooth things out, as we got 99.1 average frames per second. Now, while the 0.1% low was slightly lower with discrete graphics mode, it's not really that noticeable because, again, it's only 0.1% of the time. Switching over to Dirt Rally, again, loving that 102 Hz instead of the 60 we got with MS Hybrid mode, 103.73 average frames a second, as opposed to 87.45 in MS Hybrid mode, which is probably just due to the lack of overclocking. If you guys are interested in seeing just how much the software and hardware change of hybrid versus discrete actually takes with the graphics card running at the same clock speeds, let me know down below, but I didn't really think it was much of a realistic use case, as if you can overclock when you couldn't before, you probably would and should. But if you want to see that or anything else, just leave a comment below. I read them all, and occasionally I'll listen to one of them and make a video. Last gaming benchmark is Car Mechanic Simulator, 156 frames a second versus 133. Technically, both of those are completely playable, but one of them is even more playable than the other. And if you had G-Sync turned on, then you do have that built-in frame rate limiter, which would be super nice. Now, while that may sound really good for gamers, it's not quite so great if you're into video editing, specifically with Adobe Premiere. Because with Adobe Premiere, I did a video in the past, which you can check out here, which shows just how useful that Intel integrated graphics can be when it comes to rendering performance. Now, when it comes to timeline performance, I still prefer to edit in discrete mode because I feel like it makes the playback just a little bit smoother. But if you are rendering, how much is it going to speed things up? Well, in one project, it sped things up 10%, and in another project, it went up 63%. Which is a pretty big increase for just turning off a setting. On average though, once I added up all of the render times from the 3 different project styles I tested, we saw an increase of 27% in MS Hybrid mode, not discrete. So that's kind of the one outlier use case I've identified so far. If you really wanted to take advantage of Intel QuickSync technology and you had AMD discrete graphics, that could be another reason to use MS Hybrid mode. If you've got some other weird use or edge cases that I should know about for maybe making a third part to this video series, let me know in the comments, because right now all I get are a grumpy cat and his troll comments telling me that I look like a teenager and that I couldn't possibly be married. Say something. Well, trust me, she's real, she's just really camera shy. So, with that being said, catch me in the next video if you want to see some more tech stuff. I think it's pretty cool. If you watch this video all the way through, chances are you think it's pretty cool too. But not half as cool as Grumpy Cat thinks I am. Oh.